Chapter 2403. Zhao Tianlong greeted them politely and greeted old Zhao's family members. Zhao Baoshan greeted Zhao Tianlong with a smile. You must be tired after such a long journey. Come in and have a rest. Zhao Tianlong nodded. He was indeed tired after such a long journey. Since returning from the capital, he wanted to report the good news to my family without stopping. Although he knew that old Zhao's family had already received the news, he still wanted to tell them personally. Seeing old Zhao's family members looking at him with pride, Zhao Tianlong was very happy. As a member of old Zhao's family, what he wanted the most was to stand out and make his parents proud of him. For so many years, old Zhao's family had spent a lot of effort on him in order to support his studies. Fortunately, he was third in the examination. As a reward, he did not disappoint old Zhao's family. Because of Zhao Qianlong's return, Zhao Baoshan and xuanhuan asked their family members to prepare lunch to treat Zhao Tianlong. Feng Xianxia looked at her precious son and said with a distressed expression, "Alas, Tianlong is already thin enough. I guess he's been concentrating on studying and not eating these days. It looks like he's lost a lot of weight." As his mother, she felt a little heartache. Xuanhuan chuckled. That means that our Tianlong is really focused on his studies. How can he not lose weight when he is so focused on his studies? However, being third in the examination shows that it is worth it to lose weight. Since he is back home, he will be fine once his body is nourished. Feng Xianxia nodded. That's true. We can prepare more delicious food for Tianlong to nourish himself. I estimate that he will be able to recover after half a month or a month. Xuanhuan said generously, Eldest daughter-in-law, I still have more than 10 chickens. Go back and catch a few old hens to make chicken soup for Qianlong's child. Feng Xianxia answered happily, Okay, I'll go and stew it tomorrow. Mother, you are really good to Tianlong. He is my precious eldest grandson. If I don't treat him well, who else can I treat well? Haha, mother, I'll talk to Sky Dragon later. I have to let him remember your kindness and be filial to you in the future. Feng Xianxia just said a few flattering words, but Xuanhuan was very happy to hear it. Once Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, he would probably be able to send her a lot of good things if he showed a little filial piety. It seemed like she wouldn't have to worry about the rest of her life. Old Zhao's family was quite lucky this year, which was why they had so many happy events. In the afternoon, the whole family gathered together for a lively meal. The third branch was also invited to join them. They gathered together to eat and celebrate Zhao Qianlong's third place in the high school examination. Zhao Qianlong's words were somewhat smug, which made Zhao Yun a little displeased. However, being able to come in third place was indeed something to be happy about and proud of. It was normal for people to be a little arrogant. After all, they were indeed capable. In the afternoon, the few branches of old Zhao's family gathered together to chat. They only dispersed after dinner. Xunpan looked forward to it for a long time until nighttime. This was because Zhao Tianlong could only say a few intimate words to her after they returned to their room. During the day there were so many people in old Zhao's house. Moreover, they were all talking to Zhao Tianlong non-stop. It was difficult for her to even say a few words to Zhao Tianlong. Chapter 2405. Zhao Tianlong gently smiled. Pan, I've seen everything you've done for me. Now that I'm third place in high school, I'll bring you and Yang to live a good life. Yes. Xunpan nodded her head with a face full of happiness. After enduring for so many years, she had finally made it. From the moment Zhao Tianlong entered high school, it was clear that she was going to live a good life. Fortunately, all the waiting and suffering was worth it. Pan. Now that I'm third place in high school, I didn't rely on my own abilities. Zhao Tianlong hesitated for a moment before speaking in a deep voice. Xunpan was stunned as she didn't understand the meaning behind Zhao Tianlong's words. Husband. How can you say that? You're already brimming with talent, how could you not rely on yourself to be third place? Could it be that the examiners randomly gave you the results? Zhao Tianlong sighed and slowly opened his mouth. Pan, many things aren't as simple as we think. There are still a lot of dark secrets. Even if it's a science exam, it's still something that can be manipulated by the nobles in the capital. For students from poor families like us, it's not easy to even become a high scholar, let alone the top 3. Xunpan frowned as she didn't know about this. However, since Zhao Tianlong said this, how did he get into the top 3? This time, I was able to get third place in high school because of Prince Jin's help. Xunpan was even more confused as she didn't know that Zhao Tianlong was hiding so many secrets behind his high school results. But husband, how did you get to know Prince Jin? He wouldn't help you for no reason, right? What's going on here? Pan? This is also the reason why I wanted to discuss something with you today. Zhao Tianlong was at a loss as he spoke. Xin Pan hurriedly urged, "Husband, hurry up and say it, don't stutter." Pan. Zhao Tianlong held Xin Pan's hand. "If I say it, I might be a little sorry, but for our future, I hope you can understand me." Xin Pan was a little nervous as Zhao Tianlong's tone didn't sound like it was anything good. "Husband, tell me, Pan, Prince Jin really wouldn't help you for no reason. It's because Prince Jin's daughter, Princess Miaoyin, has fallen in love with me. That's why Prince Jin helped me get into the top 3 during the imperial exam. Otherwise it might have been difficult for me to pass the exam. After getting into the top 3 this time, although he could become an official in the future, the waters in the officialdom were very deep. Without power and background it was impossible to go up there. With my family background I can only be a deputy county magistrate at most. It's not easy to become a high-ranking official." She had sacrificed so much for him over the years and had waited so long for this day to come. However, Zhao Tianlong had treated her in such a manner, which made her feel bitterly disappointed. Zhao Tianlong, for the sake of his future, chose to abandon her without any hesitation. Xin Pan's tears flowed uncontrollably from the corners of her eyes. When Zhao Tianlong saw this, he hurriedly wiped away the tears at the corner of Xin Pan's eyes and comforted her gently. "Pan, what's wrong? Don't cry." Her husband's heart would ache. Chapter 2408. Zhao Tianlong was touched by Xin Pan's words. He hugged Xin Pan tightly and said, "Pan, you're the best. In my heart you'll be a good wife for life. As long as I'm here, I guarantee that you'll enjoy the best in the future and become the happiest woman." Xin Pan pursed her lips and agreed with a smile. However, she did not believe Zhao Tianlong's words. Men were all pigs. They only made a few promises and forgot about them in the blink of an eye. Zhao Tianlong had said these words countless times before. Now, he was still going to marry another woman for his own future and forget about his vows. She had to start planning properly now. She had to grab hold of what she should get and what she should fight for. The two of them lay on the bed and slowly fell asleep. The next day, old Zhao's house was as lively as usual. The news of Zhao Tianlong coming in 3rd place had spread throughout Yang City. After Zhao Tianlong returned, the nearby villages and influential people all came to congratulate old Zhao's house. Because he came in 3rd place in the exam, and because of the capital, he was going to be a high-ranking official in the future. These people naturally came to curry favor with him. The more connections one made, the easier it would be to do things in the future. Especially the powerful squires, they had made friends with a lot of influential people. Even the district magistrate personally came to old Zhao's house to congratulate old Zhao. For a time, old Zhao's house was very popular. Because these people came with gifts, the first branch received so many gifts that their hands went limp. Old Zhao's house also warmly welcomed these people who came to congratulate them. After a few days of excitement, almost all the influential people in Yang City came. The gifts they received filled the entire house. After counting them, these things were estimated to be worth a lot of money. Therefore, the first branch, xuanhuan and Zhao Baoshan's faces were filled with smiles for the next few days. This was only the beginning. When Zhao Tianlong became a high-ranking official, there would be even more. Under Zhao Baoshan's arrangement, a banquet was prepared for Zhao Tianlong. There was no need for the villagers to send money over. They directly held a banquet and invited the villagers to eat to their heart's content. Obviously, this was old Zhao's family's generosity. Actually, it wouldn't cost much to prepare a banquet, buy some ingredients and hire a chef. Any one of those gifts would be enough to pay for a banquet. Although old Zhao's family was usually stingy, they weren't stingy when it came to important matters. These days, Zhao Qianhu and the rest of old Zhao's family were in a different mood. In the beginning, Zhao Qianhu was also very happy when Zhao Tianlong came in 3rd place. However, his mood slowly turned gloomy. Chapter 2409. Zhao Qianhu shook his head and said gloomily, "What's the big deal about working? It's all physical work. How can it be considered a skill? If this isn't a skill, then what is? Husband, you're capable because you can work. There are so many men in our village who can't do it." Jianghu hurriedly comforted him. "Yeah." Zhao Qianhu sighed heavily, "Ju. Even if I work hard, I can only stay in the countryside for the rest of my life. If I can't make a lot of money, I'll bring you to a better life." Zhao Qianhu seemed very depressed, and there was a touch of guilt in his tone. Jianghu frowned and pondered for a few seconds. She finally figured out the reason for Zhao Tianhu's depression. She guessed that Zhao Qianhu was so depressed because Zhao Tianlong came in third place in the high school exam. The two of them were brothers, but Zhao Tianlong stood out. He could only be like an ordinary villager. The huge gap between the two of them made Zhao Qianhu feel inferior. Jianghu held Zhao Qianhu's hand and said with a smile, "Husband, what's wrong with staying in the countryside? I think it's very comfortable. Although we're not rich now, we don't have to worry about food and drink. Moreover, you're working so hard. Our lives are getting better and better. I believe that as long as we continue to work hard, we'll slowly get what we want. Sometimes you don't have to pursue so much. How many people can get a real life of wealth?" Zhao Qianhu looked up at Jianghu. Jianghu's smile had a calming effect. His heavy heart suddenly felt a lot better. Jianghu held his hand and continued, "Husband, don't think so much. For me, as long as you're by my side, I don't think about how much I can eat or wear. As long as you love me, it's more important than anything else." Juer. Zhao Qianhu looked at Jianghu very touched. With a wife like this, what else could he ask for? "Well, husband, no matter what, you have to be happy. Don't think so much, okay? If father and mother saw this, they would think that you are jealous of big brother." "Yes, yes." Zhao Qianhu nodded heavily. Zhao Yuner heard the conversation between the two people and also felt that Zhao Qianhu did not marry the wrong person. If it were those women who liked to compare themselves to others, they would inevitably complain about their own men when they saw that their brothers had become outstanding. Actually, if two people loved each other and worked hard, they would definitely be able to live a good life. Sometimes, being ordinary was the true happiness. When a family was together, they loved each other dearly. Even a simple meal was better than delicacies. However, even if they lived in the countryside, they still needed to have a certain level of security. They couldn't live too poorly and had to earn some money. Zhao Yuner suggested to Zhao Qianhu and Jianghu that the two of them could set up a stall in the town to sell for money. Just like before, he sold breakfast. Although the income was not much, it was definitely better than farming in the countryside. There was still an income of a few taels of silver a month. As for making breakfast, the two of them might not know how to do it. Zhao Yuner could teach them. It didn't take much time to learn. Jianghu and Zhao Qianhu were very interested. It was a happy thing to be able to earn money with their own hands. This was especially true for long-term, stable income. Chapter 24:11. Xuanhuan snorted. "Hee, it's not like we'll be in his way if we go over. If he doesn't have the time to pick us up, wouldn't he send someone over? I don't think he has the heart to do that. If he really cared about us, he would have picked us up long ago." Feng Xianxia felt a little stifled after hearing Xuanhuan's words. She also felt that it was strange for Zhao Tianlong to drag things out for so long without picking them up. Only the heavens knew how much they wanted to leave this rundown village and enjoy life in the capital. During this period of time, when he heard those people's compliments in the village, he felt a little smug. The villagers were very envious of them for being able to live in a big house in the future, eat and drink well, and have people to serve them. They would live much more comfortably than the rich people in town. Feng Xianxia was eager to go to the capital because of the villagers' flattery. Other than living a life of being served, she wanted to see the prosperity of the capital. Feng Xianxia was silent for a few seconds before discussing with xuanhuan and Zhao Wenshi. "Mother, Tianlong's father. Since Tianlong didn't come back to pick us up or send someone to pick us up, why don't we go to the capital ourselves? Maybe Tianlong is really too busy and forgot about us. If we go there ourselves, he won't have to waste his time to pick us up." Xuanhuan thought for a while and felt that Feng Xianxia's suggestion was feasible. If they went there themselves, Zhao Tianlong wouldn't chase them away. This way they could live in the capital sooner. Thinking about the future, Xuanhuan couldn't wait and said, "Eldest daughter-in-law, this is a good idea. Then let's take the initiative to go to the capital. Let's not dawdle. Since we've decided, let's do it tomorrow. Let's pack our things and go there." Zhao Wenshi thought about it. Since Feng Xianxia and Xuanhuan had said so, he had no reason to object. He nodded and agreed, "All right. Mother, the capital is quite a distance away. How are we going to get there?" Feng Xianxia's eyes turned as she asked. "Take a carriage. We can't possibly walk such a long way, otherwise who knows how long it'll take." Xuanhuan replied. Thinking about it, this old woman's legs were not nimble. If they really walked such a long distance, he would probably be half dead by the time they reached the capital. Feng Xianxia thought about it and agreed. For such a long journey they could only take a carriage. It was impossible to walk and the speed of the ox cart was too slow. He didn't know how many days it would take to reach the capital. Moreover, every single thing that provided shelter from the wind and rain made sitting on the ox cart uncomfortable. Taking a carriage was the best choice. It was fast and comfortable. However, the distance from Xuanhuan village to the capital was so far. If she rented a carriage, it would probably cost a lot of money. Chapter 24:12. From afar, Feng Xianxia's loud voice rang out, "Yuner lass, Yuner lass." At this moment, Zhao Yuner was playing with the two children. Now that Tian had grown up for a few months, she could slowly crawl on the ground. Zhao Yuner laid out a big cushion on the ground, allowing Tian to crawl around. Although Tian was a little girl, her character was like a boy. She liked to be noisy and couldn't stop for a moment. With one look, one could tell that she would be a lively little girl when she grew up. Zhao Yuner didn't particularly like children who were very sensible and quiet. Sometimes she felt that it was a good thing for children to be a little naughty and noisy. After all, children were born to be restless, so it was normal for them to be restless. When they were young, they should be allowed to release their natural instincts and grow up happily. When they grew up, they could also recall the happy memories of their childhood. Hearing Feng Xianxia's anxious voice, Zhao Yuner felt that something bad was going to happen. Every time Feng Xianxia came to her house, wasn't it to ask for help? Zhao Yuner was a little fed up with this eldest aunt. However, she still suppressed her temper and looked at Feng Xianxia, asking, "What's the matter, eldest aunt?" Feng Xianxia smiled and said somewhat embarrassedly, "Yuner lass, eldest aunt wants to ask for your help." Zhao Yuner had a look of understanding. "What is it?" "But, Yuner lass, it's like this. Eldest uncle, eldest aunt, and your grandmother want to go to the capital tomorrow to look for your eldest cousin brother. Your eldest cousin brother is an official in the capital and has been too busy recently to come back to pick us up. We thought that going there ourselves would save him the trouble. However, the journey to the capital is too far, so we were wondering if you could use your family's carriage to send us there. This round trip will only take a few days. Otherwise we won't be able to get there." After Feng Xianxia finished speaking, Zhao Yuner's lips curled into a sneer. Sure enough, they were thick-skinned enough to come up with such a good idea. Unless she was a fool, she wouldn't send this family to the capital. A round trip would probably take 4 to 5 days. Not to mention that her body would not be able to take the fatigue from the long journey. Who knew if a woman like her would encounter any danger on her way back from the capital? This Feng Xianxia only thought about her own benefits and did not care about the lives of others. Seeing that Zhao Yuner did not speak, Feng Xianxia pursed her lips and smiled embarrassedly. "Yuner girl, eldest aunt knows that you are a good person with a kind heart, so I will definitely not reject you. When we get back to the capital, I'll have your eldest cousin brother thank you properly. By the way, the capital is definitely more prosperous than Yang City. We can see the world together, don't you think?" After hearing Feng Xianxia's words, Zhao Yuner's sneer deepened. "Auntie, to tell you the truth, I've already been to the capital once. I don't need to see the world again." Feng Xianxia was stunned, then pursed her lips and said, "I see. Then Yuner girl, just treat it as helping eldest aunt. Eldest aunt, you know that my mother is pregnant and I have to take care of her at home. How can I find the time to send you all over? Moreover, I have 2 children to take care of, especially Tian, who is still young and can't be separated from me. A trip to the capital will take a few days of fatigue, and my little body won't be able to take it." Chapter 24:13. After hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Feng Xianxia was too embarrassed to ask Zhao Yuner to send them over. Feng Xianxia's heart ached when she thought about how much money it would cost to rent a carriage. "Yuner, just pretend that eldest aunt didn't say anything." Feng Xianxia resentfully replied and then left the 3rd branch's courtyard. Zhao Yuner continued to take care of the baby. When she didn't have a child, she didn't know how hard it was to take care of a child. After taking care of Tian, Zhao Yuner realized that taking care of a child was really not easy. She didn't have to take care of the baby all day long. There were many people in the family and everyone helping out could reduce a lot of the burden. But in the 21st century, Bao Ma was more or less taking care of the baby alone. There was no room to breathe. When the baby in Liang Jinxiao's belly was born, there would be another member of the family. Then there would be more work to do. When it was almost lunchtime, Zhao Yuner went to the kitchen to prepare food. During this period of time, there were many people eating together at noon because of the pigsty, so she had to prepare more food. However, the pigsty was built very quickly and it was almost done. Now they were just finishing up the work and enclosing a yard. When it was done, they would be able to buy some piglets to raise pigs. The tea on the mountain was almost finished with Zhu Eru and Mulan's work. They would be able to pick new tea leaves next year. There was no need to worry about the sales of the tea leaves. Previously, when the emperor stayed at her house for a period of time, he couldn't leave the tea leaves. It was a pity that Zhao Yuner didn't have a lot of tea leaves in her hands. Otherwise, the emperor would definitely bring a large batch back to the capital. When she had new tea leaves next year, she would have to send a large batch to the palace. If tea was popular in the palace, the princes and nobles would naturally compete to buy tea leaves. As a result, the whole of China started to drink tea. Her tea leaves wouldn't have to worry about sales. As for the future, everything was beautiful. She didn't have to worry about food and clothing. She would live a leisurely and comfortable life. She probably didn't even dream of living in the 21st century. During this period of time, the weather was getting colder and colder. It was estimated that it was the beginning of winter and they had to wear jackets to keep out the cold. In old Zhao's house, the first branch and xuanhuan couldn't wait to rent a carriage the next day and rush to the capital. Zhao Baoshan did not accompany them. Instead, he advised them to wait at home for Zhao Tianlong to personally send someone to pick them up. Otherwise, who knew what Zhao Tianlong was up to and whether or not he would cause trouble for Zhao Tianlong? Chapter 24:15. Especially Feng Xianxia, Zhao Wenshi, and xuanhuan. They were dressed poorly and looked like country bumpkins. They did not have the imposing manner of Lord Zhao's family. They might even be beggars who came here to play. How could these country bumpkins be allowed to act so impudently in a place like this? The guard impatiently chased them away. Go, 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 hurry up and leave. Don't make a ruckus in front of our gate. Xuanhuan was a little angry. She pointed at the guard and scolded, "How can a servant like you be so rude? I already said that I am your Lord Zhao's biological grandmother, yet you treat me like this. Be careful that I don't let your Lord Zhao skin you alive." Feng Xianxia was also a little displeased. "I am here to find my son, why are you stopping me from entering?" The guard's temper was not very good either. He angrily replied, "Do you think I will believe whatever you say? Lord Zhao is of noble status, you are just a few ordinary country bumpkins. If you are really Lord Zhao's relatives, why wouldn't he personally send someone to bring you here? Why would he need you to send yourself here?" Xuanhuan rolled up her sleeves. She was angered by the guard. "Sai, what are you saying, you stinking brat? If we are not real, then are we fake? Where is your proof? Do you think we are just because you say so? I advise you to hurry up and get lost. Don't make a ruckus in front of the gate. Otherwise, I will not be polite." As he spoke, the guard pulled out his sword and threatened. Xuanhuan, Zhao Wenshi, and Feng Xianxia were all shocked. From the looks of it, they were really not allowed to enter. They did not think much before coming to the capital. Who knew that they would encounter such trouble after coming here? If they could not enter, how were they going to find Zhao Tianlong and live in this large residence? Feng Xianxia suppressed her temper and smiled fawningly at the guard. "Little brother, please don't be angry. We are really Lord Zhao's relatives. How about this? I will have to trouble you to go in and inform your Lord Zhao to come out and see me. Then the truth will be revealed." The guard at the door waved his hand impatiently. "Go, go, go. Our Lord Zhao is not in the manor, so he can't report to you. Besides, even if he was here, it wouldn't work. The three of you look so poor. How are you Lord Zhao's relatives? Why would Lord Zhao come out to meet him so casually? Where did Lord Zhao get his skills from?" The three of them were at their wits' end. Since they were trying to stop them from entering, they couldn't just force their way in. However, he was unwilling to leave just like that. After 2 bumpy days, he finally arrived at the capital. No matter what, he had to find Zhao Tianlong and meet up with him before moving into the mansion. Otherwise, wouldn't all their hard work these past few days be in vain? Zhao Wenshi frowned and asked, "Hey, what should we do now?" Was he really going to let it go? Are we going back now? That won't do. Xuanhuan pursed her lips. It wasn't easy for us to come here and now we have to go back. Not only is it tiring, we'll probably be laughed at by the villagers when we go back. Everyone in the village knows that we came to the capital. Feng Xianxia sighed and said with a frown, What should I do? It wasn't easy for us to come to the capital, but we can't see Tianlong. Really? Why don't we just wait here in the mansion? Tianlong will pass by the main gate when he goes out or comes back. When that time comes, won't it be fine if he sees us? Chapter 24:16. Alright. Let's wait for Tianlong to arrive. After the three of them discussed, they sat down at a corner in front of Zhao Tianlong's residence and waited quietly. As they were tired from the long journey, they did not care about the dirt on the ground and sat down. When passers-by saw them, they thought that they were beggars, and some kind-hearted people even gave them a few coins. After waiting for a long time, they finally saw a luxurious horse carriage stop in front of the residence. A man's figure came out of the horse carriage. He was dressed in official robes and wore an official's hat, looking very imposing. At first, Zhao Wenshi and the other two did not recognize him. However, after taking a closer look, they realized that it was Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Tianlong, who was dressed in official robes, had a noble aura around him. He was different from the poor and destitute people who studied in the countryside. After that, another woman came out of the horse carriage. The woman was not old, slightly younger than Zhao Tianlong. The clothes she was wearing were very beautiful. One look and one could tell that it was made of expensive silk. The embroidery on it was even more exquisite. Some of the accessories on her head were made of gold. She gave off a graceful and luxurious feeling. The woman's appearance was also very outstanding. She was much more beautiful than the women in the countryside. Only this could be called a great beauty. As Zhao Tianlong carefully helped the woman down, a gentle smile appeared on his face. Zhao Wenshi quickly rushed over to Feng Xianxia and xuanhuan. Tianlong is back, Tianlong is back. Xuanhuan and Feng Xianxia were originally sleepy. However, when they heard Zhao Wenshi's shout, they immediately became energetic. Back? Yes. Ah, it really is Tianlong. Let's hurry over. Xuanhuan quickly got up from the ground and ran towards Zhao Tianlong. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia followed closely behind. Xuanhuan happily shouted, Tianlong, your grandmother and your parents are back. Xuanhuan was used to her loud voice in the countryside, so she didn't care about the occasion at all. She thought it was the same as in the countryside. Hearing Xuanhuan's voice, Zhao Tianlong looked towards Xuanhuan and frowned. His eyes were filled with disdain and displeasure. However, Zhao Tianlong was not in a position to flare up, so he could only control his emotions. When Xuanhuan arrived in front of them, Zhao Tianlong asked in a deep voice, Grandmother, father, mother, why are you here? Why didn't you tell me before coming over? I didn't even know. Xuanhuan smiled, Tianlong, you said that you would bring us here after we settled down in the capital, but we waited in the countryside for a long time and you didn't come to pick us up. We wondered if you were too busy and forgot about us, so we took the carriage to the capital to save you the trouble of sending someone back. The corner of Zhao Tianlong's mouth twitched. Actually, he purposely didn't pick up Xuanhuan and the rest. Originally, he was born in the countryside, but when he became an official in the capital, he was looked down upon by many nobles. If it wasn't for Prince Jin's help, he probably wouldn't have been able to continue living in the capital, much less become the assistant minister of the Ministry of Justice. If he brought his parents and Xuanhuan and the rest to the capital. With their temperament as country bumpkins, he didn't know how many jokes they would make. He was someone who cared about his reputation, so he didn't want them to embarrass him. Before he established himself, he couldn't withstand too much mockery and ridicule. Chapter 24:17. Who would have thought that instead of sending someone to pick them up, his parents actually came to the capital by themselves? At this moment, Zhao Tianlong's situation is extremely awkward. It's not good to let Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia go back, but it's also not good to not let them go back. Zhao Tianlong frowns and doesn't say a word. Zhao Wenshi also mutters, Tianlong, you've been busy these days? Father, mother, grandfather and grandmother have all been waiting for you at home for a long time. But it's fine, we came here on our own. The residence that the imperial court arranged for you is really good, it's really big. Look at how imposing this residence is, we can live in it in the future. Hurry up and bring us in to take a look. Your grandmother has been running around for 2 days. She's already so old and is different from young people. Her bones can't withstand the torment. Zhao Tianlong awkwardly stands there, not knowing how to respond. The woman beside Zhao Tianlong, Princess Miao Yin, frowns when she sees Zhao Wenshi, Feng Xianxia and Xuanhuan. She asks, Tianlong, these are your father, mother and grandmother? Princess Miao Yin's tone reveals a trace of disbelief. What she couldn't figure out was that Zhao Tianlong looked gentle and refined, and was also very cultured. How can such an outstanding man have such vulgar relatives like Xuanhuan and Zhao Wenshi? Just listening to their tone and the content of their conversation, Princess Miao Yin can't stand it. They are completely like country bumpkins who have never seen the world. If she were to live with such people in the future, she would go crazy. Without waiting for Zhao Tianlong to reply, Feng Xianxia chuckles and steps forward. That's right, we use Tianlong's father and mother. This lady, what's your relationship with our families, Tianlong? You look really beautiful, your identity shouldn't be simple, right? Could it be that you're good friends with our families, Tianlong? Zhao Tianlong gently tugs at Feng Xianxia's sleeve. Mother, what are you doing? Feng Xianxia smiles embarrassedly and replies, Mother is just concerned about you and casually asked. Tianlong, quickly tell me, who is this lady? What's her relationship with you? Zhao Tianlong didn't know what to say, but he still had to tell his family about this. Although Princess Miao Yin was a little disgusted with Zhao Wenshi and the other two, she endured it for the sake of Zhao Tianlong's family. She smiled and introduced herself to Feng Xianxia. I'm Sky Dragon's wife. Feng Xianxia opened her mouth wide, her face full of shock. Why did this woman say that she was Zhao Tianlong's wife? Sky Dragon has already married a wife and is now at old Zhao's house. It was not as if he was afraid that Yang would not be able to withstand the torment due to her young age. He had probably brought her along with him on this trip. Why did Zhao Tianlong suddenly have another wife? Why did she have another daughter-in-law? That. Sky Dragon. What's going on? When did you marry another one? Does Pan'er know about this? Tianlong. Mother is confused by you. What have you been doing in the capital these days? Zhao Tianlong's face was gloomy. There was no way to hide it, so he could only say, Mother Pan'er already knows about this. Your new daughter-in-law is the current princess. If not for her, I would not have come third in the imperial examinations, much less become an official in the capital. Miao Yin and I just got married a few days ago. Now she's my wife. After tossing and turning for a few days, if he didn't rest well, even his old bones wouldn't be able to hold on. Good. Then let's go inside and rest. It just so happens that this old woman wants to see what it's like inside. From the outside it's really imposing. I've never seen such a big room before. Xuanhuan's face was filled with joy and expectation. Zhao Tianlong replied with a bit of displeasure. At this moment he was thinking about what to do in the future. Could it be that he really had to let his father and mother stay here? That wouldn't do. If they stayed in the capital, who knew what kind of joke they would become? He had to think of a reason to send the three of them back to Shuilan village. Chapter 24:20. As for xuanhuan, she walked to the entrance and snorted at the guard. She spat on the ground and scolded, Little bastard, why don't you open your eyes and take a good look? I already said that I am your family's Lord Zhao's grandmother and you still don't believe me. Now you believe me. Let's see if you still dare to hit my wife in the future. You still want to be a servant with such poor eyesight. After xuanhuan finished scolding the guard, she straightened her back and walked towards Zhao Tianlong's residence. Her face was filled with complacency as if she had won a victory. The guard at the entrance lowered his head, his heart was filled with shock. His family's Lord Zhao seemed to be quite kind, refined and cultured. How did his family become like this? A bunch of uncultured country bumpkins. He really couldn't be blamed for making a mistake. It was a pity that he could only mutter these words in his heart. Princess Miao Yin walked behind xuanhuan. After seeing this scene, her disdain for xuanhuan increased. Her brows slightly knitted, thinking that country bumpkins were country bumpkins. It could be seen from their actions. If they had status, they wouldn't spit so casually. Wasn't it obvious that they were disgusting? Unfortunately, no matter how much she disliked them, they were still Zhao Tianlong's relatives. It wouldn't be good for her to kick them out now. She had to properly plan for the future. Otherwise, if she stayed with these vulgar people for a while longer, she definitely wouldn't be able to take it. They walked into Zhao Tianlong's residence. Because it was purchased with the help of Prince Jin, even in a place like the capital where every inch of land was worth gold, it was still luxurious. The residence was very big. After walking for half a day, they still hadn't reached the end. xuanhuan and the other two were like Granny Lu entering the Grandview Garden. They kept looking here and there as if they couldn't get enough of it. xuanhuan couldn't help but sigh. Oh my mother, this residence is really big. I thought that having a few dozen rooms would be good enough. But there are more than a few dozen rooms. There are more than a few mu of land. Moreover, it was dazzling with gold and jade everywhere. It was truly imposing. I didn't come out to take a look this time. Who knew that there would be such a good house? Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia were also shocked and nodded in agreement. That's right, Mom. Sky Dragon's house is really big. We haven't even walked around for half a day and it's already half the size of our village. Haha, being a high-ranking official is indeed different, living in such a good place. How comfortable would it be to live in such a place every day? Oh, I can't think about it. The more I think about it, the more excited I get. Fortunately, we were smart enough to come here in advance to enjoy ourselves. Chapter 24:21. Zhao Wenshi was a little unhappy. Tianlong, what's wrong with that? It's fine to be a little louder in our own home. We're not being noisy, right? xuanhuan chimed in, that's right. Tianlong, this is our home, not outside. What's the point of worrying so much? Who would be so restrained in their own home? Zhao Tianlong felt even more helpless towards these three people. He could only hope that he could send them back as soon as possible. Otherwise it would be too difficult for him to keep them around. Seeing that they did not listen to his advice, Zhao Tianlong could only give up. After walking for a while they reached the central room. Zhao Tianlong instructed the servants to prepare some food. "Father, mother, grandmother, you must be hungry too. I've prepared some food. Sit down and eat first before you go back to rest," Zhao Tianlong called out. Zhao Wenshi and the other two nodded in agreement. If Zhao Tianlong did not say anything they would not have felt anything. After he said it they realized that their stomachs were growling. They were indeed hungry. They had been on the road for so long and had not eaten properly. All they ate was dry rations. When they finally reached Yang City, the guards did not allow them to enter Zhao Tianlong's residence. They had to wait outside for a long time. At this moment their stomachs were growling. They could not wait to eat something, especially rice, to fill their stomachs. Good. There's no rush to rest. While eating we can also chat with Tianlong. What did you experience when you became an official in the capital? How have you been? As parents, they were naturally concerned about their children's future. The corner of Zhao Tianlong's mouth twitched. He did not know how to refuse. Actually, he did not want to talk to them at all. At this moment he wished that he could find a hole to hide in so that Zhao Wenshi and the rest would not find out. Xuanhuan smiled and said to Princess Miao Yin, "Eldest granddaughter-in-law, you have to sit down. Let's have a good chat. As soon as I saw you I liked you so much. It's not easy for our family to gather together." This is what Tianlong's father said. "Let's chat while we eat." Princess Miao Yin's eyes flashed with undetectable disdain. However, after so many years of good education and self-cultivation, she could not be too rude to her elders. After all, filial piety was the most important virtue. Furthermore, in front of Zhao Tianlong, she had to put on the appearance of a virtuous wife, and not a proud and willful princess. Suppressing the disgust in her heart, Princess Miao Yin pursed her lips and replied, "All right." Xuanhuan couldn't stop smiling when she heard that. Not long after, the dishes were prepared in the kitchen, and the servants in the residence served the dishes. Needless to say, there was no need to mention the officials' meals. Chapter 24-22. Sure enough, the money she spent on Zhao Tianlong was not wasted. She was already so old and could still enjoy life for a while. She could eat well and live well. She could also live like those rich families and have servants by her side to serve her. This kind of life was something that many people could only wish for. Facing these three people, Zhao Tianlong felt even more embarrassed. The more Zhao Wenshi and the others sighed, the more it showed that their family was ignorant. In front of Princess Miao Yin, it naturally made them look even more despicable. The truth was just as Zhao Tianlong had feared. After Princess Miao Yin saw them, she felt even more disgusted. Previously she felt that country bumpkins were just country bumpkins. It was just a difference in status, and the difference between them shouldn't be too big. Now that she saw Zhao Wenshi and the others, she truly understood what country bumpkins were. Sometimes it wasn't just a difference in status, but also a difference in living environment and background. Personal knowledge, bottom line, and quality were all very different. There was an uncrossable gap in between. Princess Miao Yin thought of herself as a magnanimous person, but when she saw Zhao Wenshi and the others acting like this, she couldn't help but feel disgusted. She could maintain a polite appearance for a few days, but if she continued to endure like this, her heart would definitely collapse. Zhao Tianlong said with a sullen face, "Father, mother, grandmother, don't say so much. Hurry up and eat. Otherwise the food won't taste good when it gets cold." "Ah, good. Everyone sit down and eat." Zhao Wenshi nodded with a smile, then called the others to sit down at the table. Xuanhuan impatiently picked up her chopsticks and placed a lot of food into her bowl. After tasting the food, Xuanhuan giggled, "Delicious, delicious, really delicious. Tianlong, the chef you hired is really good. The chefs in Yang City's restaurants are not as good as your chefs. Boss, wife, quickly try it." "Mother, we know. You eat your food, we know how to eat," Feng Xianxia replied. Because the three of them were tired from the journey, they were already very hungry. Once again they had never seen such good food in their lives. Each and every one of them looked like beggars who had been starving for a few days, crouching in front of the table and wolfing down the food. In addition, he was a country bumpkin, so the way he ate was rather crude. He didn't pay much attention to the places where he ate, and the noise he made was particularly loud. Especially when he was eating, his mouth kept mumbling non-stop. Seeing this scene, Princess Miao Yin frowned. Facing the table full of food, she couldn't eat. Her chopsticks didn't move for a long time. Zhao Tianlong, who was sitting at the side, was equally embarrassed and did not eat much. Chapter 24-23. Feng Xianxia replied, "It's because Sky Dragon has been studying too much. He's too particular about what he learns from books. Us country bumpkins have never studied before, so naturally we are not like him." "That's true." Zhao Wenshi nodded thoughtfully. "Although many of the principles in the books are correct, not everything is correct. Eating like us, the whole family chatting while eating, how lively is that? In our village, every family is the same, and I have never heard anyone say that it's wrong." It's fine, it's fine. Tianlong was just saying we don't have to take it to heart. Let's continue eating. Xuanhuan called out. After wolfing down the food for a while, they still did not fill their stomachs. Not sure if it was because they were too hungry, but they kept feeling that their stomachs were empty. Zhao Wenshi's face sank even more. He had already said it, but unfortunately these people refused to listen. What could he do? How could he quarrel with Zhao Wenshi and the rest? That would make him seem unfilial. If someone were to find out and spread the news, he would become a joke. Xuanhuan saw that Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin had not touched their chopsticks, and hurriedly called out, "Eldest grandson, eldest granddaughter-in-law, don't just stand there. Hurry up and eat. Otherwise, this meal will be finished by the three of us." As Xuanhuan spoke, she deliberately put a chicken drumstick into Princess Miao Yin's bowl with concern, and smiled fawningly. "Eldest granddaughter-in-law, it's not that grandma wants to lecture you, but your small body is still too thin. You have to eat more to nourish your body so that our old Zhao family can have another grandson." Princess Miao Yin looked at the chicken drumstick that Xuanhuan had put in her bowl. How could she eat it? This old woman was so dirty, and she was using her own chopsticks to pick food for her. She had a bit of mysophobia, so naturally she could not stand it. However, Princess Miao Yin could not flare up, so she could only give the chicken drumstick to Zhao Tianlong, and faintly reply to Xuanhuan, "Grandma, I don't like to eat chicken drumsticks. You don't have to give me food. I'm not hungry. I can't eat now." Xuanhuan stared blankly. She didn't see Princess Miao Yin's disdain. "Aya, my eldest granddaughter-in-law, you must only eat and drink good food. You don't even like chicken drumsticks. If we were in the countryside, everyone would fight to eat such good food." Zhao Tianlong was being tormented by Zhao Wenshi and Xuanhuan to the point that he was on the verge of breaking down. "Grandmother, Princess Miao Yin is from the capital, and she's also a princess. You shouldn't speak in front of her like how you speak in the countryside. Even if you speak with extravagant embellishments, she won't understand." Xuanhuan smiled awkwardly. "Oh, Tianlong, I'm just concerned about my granddaughter-in-law." Chapter 24-24. The more Zhao Tianlong thought about it, the more tired he felt. How did he end up with such a family? It wasn't easy for him to become a high-ranking official. With Prince Jin's help, he would only climb higher in the future. He didn't want to be delayed by his family. Seeing Princess Miao Yin's displeasure, Zhao Tianlong held her hand and said softly, "Miao Yin, it's been hard on you." Princess Miao Yin pulled out a smile and shook her head. "It's nothing. For you, I don't care about anything, I can endure anything." Zhao Tianlong sighed and looked at Princess Miao Yin with a touched expression. "Miao Yin, you're too good to me. Originally, marrying me made you suffer. I'm just a country boy, I can't compare to those officials in the city. But you still insisted on marrying me and endured all these with me. Miao Yin, I will not let you down in this life, I will love you well." Princess Miao Yin revealed a happy smile. "This princess has taken a fancy to you. Even if you're just a country boy, as long as I like you, I will be with you. You don't have the arrogance of those officials, you make me feel at ease. I believe that if I follow you, you will cherish me and won't let me suffer any grievances." Zhao Tianlong pulled Princess Miao Yin into his embrace. "Miao Yin, don't worry, I will only hold you in the palm of my hand." At this moment, Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin were in a lovey-dovey situation, completely forgetting that he was deeply in love with Shenpana. When he made those promises, his heart might really be like that. However, time will change everything. Even the vows of undying love could be blown away by the wind, completely forgotten. If the world's most heartless animal is a man, Zhao Wenshi and the other two ate for a long time until their stomachs were full. Only when they couldn't eat anymore did they stop. The servants in the residence led the three of them to their assigned living quarters. "Master, madam, old madam, this is where you will live. If you have any orders, just tell us tonight." Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia were assigned to a room, while Xuanhuan was assigned to a room next to theirs. The two rooms were very large and the decorations inside were also very luxurious. The living quarters in the countryside could never be compared to them. Xuanhuan went into the room and looked around. She touched here and there, sighing that the furniture in the room was too good. Tsk, this room is too good. Xuanhuan murmured. I can live in this big house alone. I didn't even dare to think about it in the past. Now, thanks to the heavenly dragon, I can live here. Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia shared the same sentiments as Xuanhuan. The room was indeed very good. It was brightly lit and different from the low thatched houses in the countryside. Living in such a big room would make one's mood a lot better. This bed is really soft. Chapter 24-25. Feng Xianxia chuckled. Mother, if an official's family isn't good, then who would want to be an official? As for us, we can drag along Tianlong's good fortune and enjoy ourselves here. And then that's true, ha. The more Xuanhuan thought about it, the happier she became. She couldn't control the excitement in her heart. Mother, then you should rest well in the room. Tianlong's father and I will go to the other room to rest. All right, go ahead. Xuanhuan nodded. Now that she was full, she began to feel sleepy. In addition, she had been on the move for several days and hadn't rested well, so she was very sleepy. It was fine if she didn't think about it, but once she thought about it, Xuanhuan yawned again and again. She took off her shoes and crawled into bed. Feng Xianxia and Zhao Wenshi went to the other room to rest. The three of them didn't wash up and directly fell asleep. They didn't eat dinner and slept until the next morning. Princess Miao Yin called for a servant to inquire about Zhao Wenshi and the other two's behavior yesterday. When she heard that they went to bed without washing up, she was disgusted by the level of filth. She suppressed the displeasure in her heart and calculated how she could drive the three of them out of the residence. Of course, she couldn't do it openly. If others found out, they would only gossip. Of all virtues, filial piety was the most important. Princess Miao Yin didn't want herself and Zhao Tianlong to be criticized. She had to think of a suitable method to make them unable to say anything. After thinking for a while, Xinpan called for Zhao Wenshi and the other two to come out for breakfast. Zhao Tianlong had gone to the morning court early in the morning and wasn't in the residence. Taking advantage of the time when the three of them were eating, Princess Miao Yin ordered a servant to secretly stuff something into Xuanhuan's bed. She planned to frame Xuanhuan and drive her away. Just as Zhao Wenshi and the other two were happily finishing their breakfast and sighing about how sumptuous it was, Zhao Tianlong returned from the morning court. Zhao Wenshi chuckled and asked Zhao Tianlong, Tianlong, have you eaten yet? Being an official isn't easy. You have to wake up so early every day. Zhao Tianlong pulled the corner of his mouth and replied, Father, I've already eaten. You guys also just ate, right? That's right. We woke up late today and just ate. Tianlong, your residence has so much variety in the morning, and it's so delicious. The countryside is so. Father and mother will be able to enjoy life with you in the future. Zhao Wenshi sighed with emotion. How could he not be happy when he thought about how he could eat and drink like this every day? Zhao Tianlong's eyes revealed a hint of Zhao Tianlong's eyes. It was his father's words that made him a little embarrassed to send them back. He was idiot to be an official T-test. Otherwise, how could he have the opportunity to come to the capital to take the exam, and how could he be so lucky as to meet Princess Miao Yin? If he didn't study, he would probably work in the fields like other countrymen. How could he be an official, live in a big residence and live a good life? But it wasn't good to let them stay in the residence. While Zhao Tianlong was in a dilemma, Princess Miao Yin suddenly said, Husband, I think I lost my golden bracelet. The Empress Dowager personally gave it to me. If the Empress Dowager finds out that I lost it, she'll definitely punish me. Chapter 24-26. Princess Miao Yin frowned as she recalled, Yesterday when I returned to the residence, I was still touching it. Last night when I went back to sleep, it seemed to have disappeared. So it's like this. Zhao Tianlong thought for a moment and said, Those things should still be in the residence. Princess Miao Yu nodded, and it should be in the residence. Since it's in the residence, there's a possibility of finding it. It's much better than leaving it outside. Quickly send someone to look for it. It should be able to be found. Zhao Tianlong said softly. Princess Miao Yin sighed, I've already sent someone to look for it but they couldn't find it. Zhao Tianlong frowned, How is that possible? They actually left it in the residence. If we search carefully we will definitely be able to find it. It must be that these servants did not do their job properly. Let them continue searching, I don't believe that they won't be able to find it. Princess Miao Yin whispered, Tianlong, you know our servants well. They all do their best, how could they dare to slack off? Then what's going on? Zhao Tianlong asked, puzzled. In my opinion, someone must have secretly hidden it after it was accidentally lost yesterday. It's such a valuable thing. They must want to keep it for themselves and are not willing to hand it over. Princess Miao Yin spoke out her conjecture. After Zhao Tianlong heard this, he became angry. They dare to hide their master's things. Sometimes, if we catch someone who doesn't return it, we will immediately expel them from the residence. Our residence will not raise people with dirty hands. Princess Miao Yin also appeared somewhat sad. This kind of person cannot be kept in the residence. Their hands and feet are dirty. I'm afraid it will be the same in the future. The residents cannot tolerate this kind of person no matter who it is. Zhao Tianlong replied heavily, yes, this kind of person cannot be tolerated. Even Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia agreed, I'm most afraid of raising a traitor at home. Tianlong, once you catch him, you will be severely punished. A country has its laws and a family has its rules. Every rule in the family, where does the master's imposing manner come from? How can he control so many people in the residence? Zhao Tianlong replied, then let's search. We have to search every inch of it carefully. Today, I will definitely find this person with dirty hands and feet. When the servants heard Zhao Tianlong's instructions, they hurriedly went to hide the items in the residence. Under Princess Miao Yin's arrangements, even xuanhuan's room was not spared. Originally, Zhao Wenshi, Feng Xianxia, and xuanhuan had the attitude of watching a good show. In the end, they heard a manservant come to report that Princess Miao Yin's golden bracelet was found under xuanhuan's quilt. Xuanhuan was stunned. She didn't steal it at all. How could it be found in her bed? Xuanhuan scolded the servant who came to report. How can you frame me like this? I didn't take it. It must be one of you who stole it. You want to shirk responsibility, so you stuffed the golden bracelet under my blanket and framed me. The servants replied with trepidation. Old madam, we didn't and we wouldn't dare. When we searched, there were several people present at the same time to avoid the possibility of framing others. There were several people who saw it when it was found under your quilt. And old madam, no matter how much courage we have, we wouldn't dare to do such a disrespectful thing. Chapter 24-27. The servants did not dare to talk back to xuanhuan and could only helplessly look at Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin. Zhao Tianlong's current state of mind was very complicated. Regardless of whether xuanhuan did it or not, he had already lost a lot of face, especially in front of Princess Miao Yin. Because this matter showed that his family members were not only vulgar, but also very greedy. Not to mention Princess Miao Yin, even he himself could not stand such people. Xuanhuan saw that Zhao Tianlong's reaction seemed to be believing the servants and became anxious. She hurriedly said to Zhao Tianlong, Tianlong, don't listen to these servants' nonsense. Your grandmother is not such a person. How could she do such a thing? From what I see, they are clearly making things difficult for this old woman and are deliberately framing me. Zhao Tianlong slightly said, Grandmother, the servants can't be working together to frame you, right? These gold bracelets must have been found in your bed. Xuanhuan's face turned red with anger when she heard this. She glared at Zhao Tianlong and said, Tianlong, why are you like this? You can believe a few servants but you can't believe your own grandmother? Zhao Tianlong's face darkened. Grandmother, it's not that I don't believe you, but the truth is in front of me. I only believe in the truth. Why would the servants say that they found them in your bed for no reason? Xuanhuan spat a mouthful of saliva on the ground and replied contemptuously, Bah, how would I know why these servants are trying to pin the blame on me? In any case, this old woman did not steal or take it. This matter has nothing to do with me. Zhao Wenshi could not stand it anymore. He knew his mother's character. Usually, he would want to put everything he saw into his pocket. This time, she probably saw that Princess Miao Yin's gold bracelets were valuable and secretly picked them up. She did not think of returning them and hid them in her bed. She did not expect that they would be found. She was so desperate that she was unwilling to admit it. Xuanhuan had used this trick more than once when she was at old Zhao's house. Zhao Wenshi was already used to it. She turned to Xuanhuan and said, Mother, if you want to give it to me, just give it to me. It's not a big deal anyway. Can't you just make things clear now? Feng Xianxia chimed in, That's right, Mother. So be it. They've already found it in your house. What else is there to say? He had only picked it up secretly, so it wasn't considered stealing. His eldest daughter-in-law would definitely not fuss about it. Why are you quarreling with Sky Dragon? When Xuanhuan saw that her son and daughter-in-law were all siding with Zhao Tianlong and saying that she was not, she was instantly enraged. How infuriating. If she was really the one who did it, then so be it. But this matter was not her at all. Chapter 24-28. What Feng Xianxia was most dissatisfied with was Xuanhua's temperament. Other mothers-in-law were not as powerful as Xuanhuan. She only said a few words of fairness and spoke her mind. She did not mean anything else. However, after Xuanhuan heard Feng Xianxia's words, she became even more furious and rushed up to fight with Feng Xianxia. You stinky woman, you actually know how to slander me. It seems like you're asking for a beating. See how my wife will deal with you. Xuanhuan stretched out her black claws and scratched towards Feng Xianxia's face. She seemed to have gathered all her strength and wanted to scratch Feng Xianxia's face. While the two were pushing and shoving, they did not pay much attention. When Princess Miao Yin saw the situation, she deliberately raised her voice to stop them. Seeing this, she had an idea and deliberately moved forward to stop the fight. In the midst of the shoving, Princess Miao Yin was accidentally knocked down and fell heavily to the ground. Princess Miao Yin cried out in pain. Zhao Tianlong was so scared that he rushed up. Miao Yin, how are you? Are you all right? Xuanhuan and Feng Xianxia also stopped their actions because of Princess Miao Yin's accident. No matter how strong Xuanhuan was, she did not dare to move in this situation. She nervously looked at Princess Miao Yin's accident. Eldest granddaughter-in-law, what happened? Are you all right? It's grandma's fault. I accidentally touched you, Xuanhuan weakly said to Princess Miao Yin. She then glared at Feng Xianxia and said, It's all because of you, you bitch. If it weren't for you, my eldest granddaughter-in-law wouldn't have been hurt. Feng Xianxia was speechless. How could this matter be blamed on her? Just now she did not move. It was Xuanhuan who attacked first. She only blocked her. She couldn't just let Xuanhuan hit her, right? She had accidentally hurt Princess Miao Yin, and as a result, Xuanhuan had pushed all the blame onto her. This was simply too unreasonable. Mother, you were the one who attacked first. How can you blame me? If you didn't attack me, would you have been able to hurt anyone? You're already so old, yet your temper is still so bad. Feng Xianxia accused Xuanhuan in dissatisfaction. If it was in the past, Feng Xianxia would not dare to talk back to Xuanhuan. In the countryside, the mother-in-law was more important than the daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law had to listen to whatever the mother-in-law said. But things were different now. Now that she had such a capable son like Zhao Tianlong to rely on, who would she be afraid of? Zhao Tianlong was annoyed by the noise and snapped, Can all of you shut up? Don't you find it annoying to quarrel with each other? Don't you find it a joke? With Zhao Tianlong's roar, Xuanhuan and Feng Xianxia were so scared that they did not even dare to fart. Chapter 24-29. Zhao Tianlong is filled with guilt as he says to Princess Miao Yin, Miao Yin, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Princess Miao Yin shakes her head as her lips curl into a smile. She comforts Zhao Tianlong, It's all right, Tianlong. It's just a small injury. Moreover, this matter has nothing to do with you. You don't have to apologize to me. Miao Yin. The more Princess Miao Yin says this, the more guilty Zhao Tianlong feels. Although he didn't push her, nor did he cause her injury, he can't escape responsibility. If not for him, Feng Xianxia and Xuanhuan wouldn't have come to the residence. If not for these few people causing trouble, how could Princess Miao Yin be injured? The resentment that he had accumulated towards Zhao Wenshi and the other two suddenly erupts at this moment. Zhao Tianlong looks towards Xuanhuan, Zhao Wenshi and Feng Xianxia and says, Father, mother, grandmother, there's something I want to tell you. Seeing Zhao Tianlong's stern face, it doesn't look like he has anything good to say. She asks, Tianlong, what do you want to say? If you have something to say, just say it. Tianlong, what's the matter? Zhao Tianlong takes a deep breath. Since he has to say it sooner or later, he might as well take advantage of this opportunity to say it directly to prevent more problems from happening in the residence in the future. Father, mother, grandmother, I'll send someone to send you back tomorrow. Back to Xuanhuan village. Hearing Zhao Tianlong's words, the three of them are stunned. Their eyes widen, thinking that they heard wrongly. Xuanhuan asks with a trembling voice. What? Tianlong, you said you're sending us back to Xuanhuan village? What's this for? Yes, Tianlong, what do you mean by this? It wasn't easy for us to come here. Why are you sending us back? We're going to stay here in the future. Later on, we're going to bring your grandfather and Pan over to stay. Zhao Wenshi frowns as he asks, puzzled. Zhao Tianlong says, What I mean is that we're going to stay in Xuanhuan village in the future. There's no need to come over. Xuanhuan and the other two were dumbfounded. Tianlong, our old Zhao family supported your education and hoped that you would be successful. Now that you're an official in the capital, You won't let us live here. What's the meaning of this? We're all hoping to follow you and enjoy life. We've waited so long for this day. Why are you like this? Do you have the heart to see us go back and suffer? Sky Dragon. What you're doing is unkind. To put it bluntly, he was unfilial and deserved to be struck by lightning. It wasn't easy for our family to support you, and now that you've made a name for yourself, you're kicking us aside? Is this something a human would do? Even Feng Xianxia, who usually protected her son, said angrily. Feng Xianxia didn't mind if she kicked xuanhuan out, but Feng Xianxia naturally didn't feel comfortable if she kicked him and Zhao Wenshi out as well. If he went back now, it was not a matter of whether he could enjoy life or not, but if he stayed in the countryside, he would definitely be laughed at by the villagers. Those gossips in the village would definitely talk about how her son was going to become an official in the capital, while she was still holed up in a remote place instead of following him to the capital to enjoy life. Zhao Tianlong directly said what he was thinking. Father, mother, grandmother, this is the capital and not some other place. You guys came here and caused such a ruckus, revealing the vulgarity of the villagers. If this spreads out, I'll only be laughed at by my colleagues. I can forget about staying in the capital in the future. Chapter 24:30. Zhao Wenshi was so angry at Zhao Tianlong's words that his body trembled. He scolded Zhao Tianlong. Tianlong, haven't you thought that if you chase the three of us back, we will only be laughed at and embarrassed by the villagers? As the saying goes, a son doesn't despise his mother for being ugly, and a dog doesn't despise his family for being poor. Our old Zhao family worked so hard to raise you and spent so much effort and money on you. Is this how you despise us? How are we embarrassing you if we stay here? What have we done? I think these are all excuses. You don't want us to stay here, right? Xuanhuan also scolded. Now that you have the ability, your wings have hardened. You even despise your own family. What kind of heartless creatures are you raising? If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have spent so much money. Now I'm so frustrated. Although Feng Xianxia was angry, she still let out a long sigh. She first comforted Zhao Wenshi and Xuanhuan. All right. Mother, Tianlong's father, don't be so harsh with your words. Discuss this with Tianlong. After all, we are family. What's the point of making things like this? After Feng Xianxia finished speaking, she said to Zhao Tianlong kindly, Tianlong, we didn't know the rules of the capital, so we were a little immature. Please don't take it to heart. I promise that I will be more careful in the future and won't do it again. Can you not let us return to Xuelan village? Not to mention the torment, we will definitely be laughed at by the villagers when we return. Even you will be ridiculed by the villagers. It's not good to make a bad joke out of ourselves. Tianlong, you are our old Zhao family's only hope. Father and mother have watched you become a high-ranking official. It wasn't easy for you to stand out. We have waited for so many years for this day to come. We want to follow you and live a good life. Now that you want us to go back, aren't you hurting our hearts? Although Zhao Tianlong felt a little guilty, he still insisted, Father, mother, don't blame your son for being heartless. Your son really has no other choice. Being an official in the capital is not as easy as you think. Once you are mocked and looked down upon by your colleagues, your path in the bureaucracy will be difficult. If your son is not doing well, how can you live a good life? It was all thanks to Princess Miao Yin that he was able to come third in the imperial examination and become a high-ranking official. Otherwise, he might have already returned to Xuelan village. I'm just a poor student with no money or power. Do you really think you can rely on yourself to get to where you are today? Zhao Wenshi and the other two were stunned when they heard this. They did not expect Zhao Tianlong to be an official to have so many tricks up his sleeves. According to what Zhao Tianlong had said, the few of them really could not stay in capital city and delay Zhao Tianlong's career. However, they were unwilling to go back like this. Zhao Tianlong said, Father, mother, it's fine if you don't want to stay in the village. I'll buy you a house in Yang City or town. You can stay there. For the time being, let's arrange it like this. There's nothing to discuss. In any case, you can't stay in capital city. I'll let the servants make the arrangements and prepare some gold and silver for you. In the future, I'll send people to send you money and things back. Even if you don't live in capital city, you can still have ample food and clothing and enjoy the rest of your lives. After he finished speaking, Zhao Tianlong picked up Princess Miao Yin and said, I'm going to bring Miao Yin to apply medicine. If there's nothing else, I won't accompany you. Chapter 24:31. Thus, under Zhao Tianlong's arrangement, Zhao Wenshi and the other two arrived at the capital with great difficulty. However, they were sent back before they could even stay for 2 days. After Zhao Wenshi left, Zhao Tianlong and Princess Miao Yin heaved a sigh of relief. They felt as if a stone had been removed from their hearts. Xuanhuan and the other two were in low spirits throughout the journey. Xuanhuan was sobbing non-stop as she scolded, "That stinking brat Tianlong is not human. Old Zhao family has been waiting for him to make a name for himself. Yet he actually chased us all back. How can Yang City and the town compare to the comfort of living in the capital? Oh my God, isn't he afraid of being struck by lightning? How can he treat his own mother and grandmother like this? Our family's efforts over the years have all gone to waste." Although Feng Xianxia was unhappy about being sent back, she was even more unhappy about Xuanhuan's nagging and slandering of her own son. After rushing for an entire day, Feng Xianxia said to Xuanhuan in a low voice, "Mother, can't you stop for a bit? Now that we're back, there's no point in nagging. You're so noisy that it hurts my ears. Also, how did our old Zhao family's efforts on Tianlong go to waste? Didn't Tianlong give us a lot of money? With this money, why should we be afraid that we won't be able to eat or drink for the rest of our lives? When the time comes, won't we be able to live freely in the town? The capital is a place for high officials and nobles to live in. We country folk are not suitable. Let's just forget about it." Xuanhuan angrily glared at Feng Xianxia and said, "It's all because of you, woman. Now you're talking as if nothing happened. When we return to the village, you'll be the first to be laughed at. You'll be crying." Feng Xianxia lightly snorted, "Mother, there's no meaning in saying that. What did I do wrong? You were the one who made a fuss and made Tianlong unhappy. We all rushed back. Tianlong's father and I were implicated because of you. Otherwise we would still be in the capital enjoying life. I don't know how you can say something like that." Xuanhua's embarrassment turned into anger. She wanted to fight with Feng Xianxia again, but was stopped by Xuanhuan. Xuanhuan rubbed his aching forehead and scolded coldly, "Can you guys stop arguing? My head is as big as two heads. If you continue to annoy me, I won't be polite." Only then did Hua and Feng Xianxia stop. After traveling for 2 days, the three of them returned to old Zhao's house. Seeing that they had returned, Zhao Baoshan snorted lightly and said with a mocking voice, "Yo, why are you back again? Shouldn't you be in the capital?" Xuanhua's face darkened as she scolded Tianlong in front of Zhao Baoshan. He thought that Zhao Baoshan would be angry after hearing this, but he didn't expect Zhao Baoshan to say indifferently, all right. It's not easy for Sky Dragon to make a name for himself. As his elders, let's not give him any more trouble. It's not like he doesn't care about us. Didn't he give us the money? No matter what, old Zhao's family can live without worries in the future. It's good to stay in the village when you're old. A fallen leaf returns to its roots. Nowhere is better than your hometown. Why must you insist on going to the capital? You can eat and drink every day. Isn't it enough to live comfortably?" Xuanhua pursed her lips. "Old man, you're so open-minded. What's so good about this remote place? Nothing can compare to the capital." Chapter 2432. Zhao Baoshan snorted, "What's the use of saying that the capital is good? You're already back, so why aren't you looking at the bright side? You're really stubborn to get involved in this matter." Xuanhua angrily turned around and entered her room. She was too lazy to talk about this sad matter. She originally wanted Zhao Baoshan to comfort her, but in the end she ended up eating a belly full of anger from Zhao Baoshan. The news of Xuanhua and the other two returning to the village spread throughout the village. Many of the villagers gathered together to chat and laugh. Without a doubt, it was because Zhao Tianlong didn't agree to let them live there. Shenpan waited at home for a long time, but Zhao Tianlong didn't come back to take her to the capital. Her heart couldn't help but turn cold. Men are so heartless. All the sweet words from before were fake. Once you have a new love, you forget your old one. You only see the smile of the new one. How can you hear the old one crying? After marrying Princess Miaoyin, he had completely forgotten about her, his first wife. She was really blind to have fallen in love with this man. Shenpan saw through Zhao Qianlong's true colors and didn't have any more fantasies about Zhao Tianlong. Instead, she brought Zhao Yangyang back to her family. Since Zhao Tianlong was so heartless, then he can forget about having a son. In any case, he didn't care and could have another child with Princess Miaoyin. However, to Shenpan, Zhao Yangyang was her only support. He was the most precious thing she had left. Old Zhao's family had experienced many things during this period of time, while Zhao Yun'er's family had a relatively dull life. The previous preparations were also proceeding according to plan. The tea trees on the mountain were planted well and the pigsty was also built. Zhao Yun'er had her aunt and uncle come over to take care of it and began to raise the piglets. At first, they didn't invest in raising many piglets, only 30 of them. Because they were still in the exploration stage, there were many things that they weren't good at. Once her aunt and uncle had familiarized themselves with it, they would raise more piglets. One couldn't become fat in one bite. Some things had to be done slowly and couldn't be rushed. However, her aunt and uncle did their best to raise the piglets. Both of them were honest people and couldn't be lazy. They would do their best to do what they were told. In the blink of an eye, it was already late winter. The weather was getting colder. Fortunately, this year's winter was different from previous years. Because there was no shortage of money this winter, the family had bought a lot of warm blankets. In addition, they had built a big house, so it was not as leaky as the previous shabby thatched hut. There were also some heating tools. It was quite comfortable for the family to stay in the house. Basically, he did not go out during the day. The cold wind was howling outside, and if he went out for a while, he would be frozen into a popsicle. It was not as comfortable as staying in the house. Xianxia also gave the children thick jackets so that they would not catch a cold. However, Liang Jinxiao's belly was getting bigger and bigger. It was difficult for him to move around, especially in winter. Xianxia was very worried that Liang Jinxiao would accidentally slip on the icy ground when he went out. Therefore, if she could not let Liang Jinxiao go out, she would try her best not to let Liang Jinxiao go out. One day in late winter, snowflakes suddenly floated down. This was the first time Xianxia saw snow in this era. White snowflakes covered the world. Especially in ancient times, after being covered with a layer of snow, it was extraordinarily beautiful. It snowed heavily for several days and nights. Fortunately, Xianxia dug a cellar before winter and stored vegetables. Even if they couldn't walk outside, the food prepared at home was enough. Chapter 24:33. The family nestled in the house in the middle of winter, and it seemed even more cozy. After a few days of heavy snow, the snow finally stopped. The entire Xuanhuan village was wrapped in a layer of silver, and it was indescribably beautiful. Xianxia only remembered seeing such a scene when she was very young. After she went to school and worked in the city, she hadn't seen such a beautiful snow scene. Walking outside, his feet made crunching sounds as they landed on the snowy ground. However, the snow was very deep and it reached her knees. If Daodu walked into the snow, half of his body would probably be covered in the snow. However, after being cooped up in the house for a few days, the children couldn't hold it in anymore. Children were noisy by nature, and they couldn't stay quiet for long. Xianxia couldn't stop them, and Zhao Qianfu directly took Daodu to roll in the snow. Xianxia looked at the scene and felt angry and helpless, so she simply let the two children play to their heart's content. If she stopped them, the two children would probably throw tantrums at her. Zhao Qianfu and Daodu started a snowball fight in the snow. However, Daodu was shorter and he was at a disadvantage compared to Zhao Qianfu. "Sis, yes? Sis, come and play with us." Zhao Qianfu smiled and greeted her. Even the adults in the house couldn't help but come out of the house to join in the fun when they saw the children playing. After staying at home for so many days, the children are really bored. It's good to come out and play. Yeah. It won't be cold if they run more. They have enough clothes on, so it shouldn't be a problem. Xianxia picked up the shovel and smiled at the family. "Why don't we build a snowman together?" Okay. Mu Hin and Zhao Tianan couldn't hold back and were eager to try. Xianxia smiled and started to build a snowman according to the method of building a snowman in her memory. Zhao Qianfu and Daodu, who were originally messing around, stopped what they were doing and began to cooperate with Xianxia to pile up together. It didn't take long for a snowman to appear in front of them. Coincidentally, there were carrots at home. Xianxia stuck the carrot in the middle of the snowman's face, revealing the shape of its nose. Then he took out 2 pieces of black charcoal and stuck them on top to act as the eyes of the snowman. Soon, a snowman appeared in front of everyone. "Mother, snowman. He really does look like a human." Daodu clapped excitedly. Xianxia lovingly stroked Daodu's head. "Daodu saw Yangqin pile it up just now. Did you learn it?" Yes. Daodu nodded heavily in response. "How about Daodu and little uncle make a few small ones?" "Okay." Daodu excitedly pulled Zhao Qianfu's hand, and the two children imitated Xianxia and piled up in the snow. Xianxia looked at Daodu's young and tender face. Through Daodu's appearance, she vaguely felt like she was looking at Mu Lianfeng. Mu Lianfeng had been gone for quite some time, and she didn't know when he would be back. Had he completed the tasks assigned to him by the imperial court? Previously, there were a lot of things that she was busy with so she could divert her attention. Now that she had some free time, Xianxia wanted to know more about Mu Lianfeng's situation. Unfortunately, he was too far away and there was no way to contact him. Chapter 2434. However, there was no need to think about it. The conditions at the frontier were probably harsh. It was definitely not easy for Mu Lianfeng to stay there. Zhao Yun did not wish for anything else. The only extravagant wish in her heart was that Mu Lianfeng would be able to return safely. Seeing that Zhao Yun was in a daze, Liang Jinxiao patted Zhao Yun's shoulder and asked, "Last Yun, what's wrong with you? Are you all right?" Zhao Yun pursed her lips and replied, "I'm fine. This snow has been falling for so many days. It's piled up in a thick layer. I wonder when it will melt." Liang Jinxiao lamented. "Let it melt slowly. It's fine if we don't go out and stay at home. It's more convenient to go out without such thick snow. Although we have a lot of things prepared at home, it's almost the new year. It'll be better if we go to Yang City to buy some things before the new year. We don't even have things like firecrackers at home." Zhao Yun nodded. She did not expect the new year to come so quickly. She did not have the habit of keeping a calendar. It had been more than half a year since she transmigrated to this era. In fact, she had experienced a lot in the past half a year. She had experienced more than 20 years in the 21st century, but she had not seen many things that made her feel the ups and downs of life. Basically, every day was more repetitive and dull. In the 21st century, she had been a leftover woman for 20 to 30 years. She did not expect God to let her find true love in ancient times. Perhaps everything had been predestined from the start. "Mother, there's no hurry. As long as the snow stops falling, the sun will melt in a few days. Don't the other people in our village need to buy these things too? It's the same for everyone. There's no need to rush." Liang Jinxiao smiled and replied, "Yes, there's no hurry. Take it slow. Anyway, there's no rush. If it doesn't work, let your father walk to Yang City. He can't buy those things back anyway." Okay. Sure enough, after a few days the sky cleared up quite a bit. The snow on the ground slowly melted. It was already the 20th day of the 12th lunar month. Other than their family, everyone else in the village was preparing for the new year. Chen Zhui came to visit early in the morning. She reminded her that if Zhao Yun's family went to Yang City to buy New Year's goods, they should bring her along. She also had to buy some things back. Zhao Yun rushed Xiao Mao when the roads were open. She called for Chen Zhuzhe and rushed to Yang City. Nowadays, old Zhao's family was not as lively as before. The first branch, Xuanhuan, Zhao Baoshan, and Zhao Xinhui had all moved to Sun City. With the money that Zhao Tianlong had given him, he had bought a rather large house in Sun City. He had even specially invited the servants over to enjoy the rest of his life there. Chapter 2435. Li Chuanying and Zhao Ping stopped in their tracks when they heard Zhao Yun's voice. Li Chuanying smiled and replied, "Yun, it's you. Your uncle Zhao and I are going to Yang City to buy some New Year goods. It's going to be the new year in a few days, so we have to buy now. Otherwise, we won't be able to buy anything on New Year's Eve." "Why didn't you take the ox cart? It's such a long journey, isn't it?" Li Chuanying sighed. "Sigh, it's not that we don't want to spend a few copper coins on the ox cart, but we didn't get to ride it." When the snow finally melted and it was the end of the year, many people in the village took the ox cart to Yang City to buy things. When your uncle Zhao and I went to take the ox cart, there were no more seats. There were many people like us who didn't get to ride it. I thought that I might not be able to get on the ox cart tomorrow, so I decided to walk to Yang City and buy the things back. It'll be a peace of mind. When she heard Li Chuanying's words, Zhao Yun called out, "Haha, you're lucky to have met me. Hurry up and get on my donkey cart." Li Chuanying and Zhao Ping didn't reject her pretentiously. Instead, they smiled and thanked her. "Yun, thank you so much. It's okay, don't be so polite with me. It's on the way anyway." The few of them drove the donkey cart together. They chatted and laughed along the way and were very happy. When they arrived at Yang City, they bought some firecrackers and other things. Zhao Yun also bought a lot of chicken, duck, and fish. There were also melon seeds and peanuts. They could be bought to satisfy their family's cravings. It was the new year, so if there were guests, they had to prepare some food to serve them. After a while, Zhao Yun bought almost half of the cart's worth of things. Chen Zhonghu and Li Chuanying bought fewer things, but they still bought a lot. After they were done, the few of them went back to Shuilan village. On the way, Zhao Yun and Qin Zhonghu discussed gathering together for a New Year's Eve dinner on New Year's Eve. After all, the houses of the other branches of the family seemed too cold when they were separated for the new year. Especially Zhao Wenshui. Zhao Wenshui only brought Zhao Tianyu with him. It was too boring for the father and son to stay up for the new year together. They probably didn't even have the energy to eat. Zhao Wenshui was just a man. How could he know how to prepare those dishes? Usually it was fine, but when it came to festivals like the New Year, everyone's atmosphere would be too gloomy. Chen Red Date also liked the lively atmosphere, so she agreed with a smile. In fact, even if Zhao Yun didn't mention it, she was also prepared to invite Zhao Wenshui to have a reunion dinner together. Zhao Wenshui and Zhao Wentao could also get together and drink a few cups. Since Zhao Yun'er said so, the whole old Zhao's house would naturally be livelier. When they returned, they found that Zhao Baoshan had returned to the village. Chen Zhozha asked curiously, "Dad, it's almost the new year. Why are you back? Did you leave something behind?" Zhao Baoshan pursed his lips. "No, Dad, then what's the reason?" "I wanted to come over for the new year." "Ah." Chen Zhozha's face was full of surprise. "Dad, isn't Sun City better? Mom, big brother, and sister-in-law are all there. Why are you back alone?" At this point, Zhao Baoshan's heart was filled with emotions. Although Sun City was good, there was good food and drinks every day, there was nothing to do, and the house was brighter and more spacious than in the countryside. However, at his age he couldn't get used to it. He always felt uncomfortable staying in the countryside. Chapter 2436. It was almost the new year, so he was discussing with his old family in Xuanhuan if he could come back for the new year. After all, most of old Zhao's family members were still in the village. It would be more lively when the family gathered together during the new year. However, none of them agreed with him and were unwilling to come back. They even said that he was old and loved to suffer. He had a good life, but he had to suffer. In a fit of anger, Zhao Baoshan could only come back alone and not drag the others with him. Zhao Baoshan smiled awkwardly in response to Chen Zhui's question and replied, "It's more lively at home. I want to come back and spend the new year with you." "Master, then let's spend the new year together. You can stay at my house for the next few days. You've moved all your things away and you don't have a place to stay." Zhao Yun stood up and greeted him. Zhao Baoshan looked at Zhao Yun with some gratitude. "Yun then I'll have to trouble you." "It's fine." The corners of Zhao Baoshan's eyes were moist. He wiped the tears from the corners of his eyes and followed Zhao Yun to the third branch. The last few days of the new year were busier, but they were all trivial matters. Soon it was New Year's Eve. The whole family woke up early in the morning to prepare. First they put up the couplets. The whole house was decorated in red. The couplets were all written by Zhao Yun in the past few days. Unlike in the 21st century where couplets were basically bought, the couplets in ancient times were mostly cut out from red paper bought by the family and then written by themselves. Her handwriting was elegant and could be used as a gift. There were many rooms in the house, so it took an hour or two to put up the couplets. They busied themselves with miscellaneous tasks and made do with something to eat at noon. In the afternoon, Chen Zhui came over to help. The whole family prepared the New Year's dinner together. It had to be said that the atmosphere during the New Year in ancient times was much better than it was now. Every family was looking forward to the arrival of this day. It was very lively and the New Year's atmosphere was very lively. Unlike in the 21st century, Zhao Yun felt that the New Year's atmosphere in her previous life was getting worse year by year. Children were the happiest to celebrate the new year. Early in the morning they got up with the adults and played together non-stop. It got dark early in the winter. Old Zhao's family followed the rules here and worshipped their ancestors. When the sky got dark, the family gathered together and started to have their New Year's Eve dinner. There were a lot of people in the third branch, including Zhao Baoshan, the second branch, and the fourth branch, as well as Zhao Tianhu and Jinju. The table was full and it seemed a little crowded. However, it was precisely because there were so many people that the atmosphere was lively. The whole family gathered together and started to eat. There were many men in the house and they drank one cup after another, drinking happily. Laughter filled the dining table. Zhao Baoshan's face was full of smiles. It was obvious that he was in a good mood. At the end of the meal, it was time for the children's most anticipated event, which was to give out the New Year's money. There were many elders in the family, so the children received more red packets. Zhao Baoshan took out many red packets from his pocket and began to distribute them. First he gave one to Daodu. Because Daodu was the youngest and was Zhao Baoshan's great-grandson, Tian also received one. Then he started to give out red packets from the second branch all the way to the fourth branch. The children laughed even more happily when they received the red packets. The other elders also gave out red packets one after another. Zhao Yun'er did not expect that Liang Jinxiao would prepare red packets for her, Zhao Tianan and Mu Hin. Chapter 2437. Zhao Yun asked Liang Jinxiao. She was a little embarrassed to accept it. Liang Jinxiao smiled gently. Silly child, although you and Tianan are married in mother's eyes, you are still mother's daughter. You and Tianan are both mother's children, so mother naturally has to give you some New Year's money. Zhao Yun was touched by Liang Jinxiao's words. Perhaps in the eyes of parents, children will always be children. No matter how big the children are, they will still be worried about them. Okay, mother, then I will accept it. Ah, good. Seeing Zhao Yun accept it, Liang Jinxiao's smile deepened. The children held the red packets and smiled happily. The adults sat at the table and chatted happily. The atmosphere seemed to be very harmonious. Such a warm scene was rare. After playing for a while, it was already late at night. However, there was still some time before midnight. The family prepared to stay up for the new year together. After midnight, they would go back to sleep for the auspicious new year. Knowing that the elders and children could not stand the cold, Zhao Yun took out the fire barrels. She added a lot of charcoal into the cooking for dinner. At this time the fire barrels were really warm. Knowing that there were more people in the family, Zhao Yun especially ordered 2 more fire barrels. They were very big and could accommodate several people. Thus, the family huddled in the fire barrel and chatted while warming themselves. Unknowingly, time passed quickly. After midnight, Zhao Yunlong went to set off an opening cannon. Only then did the family slowly disperse and return to the house to rest. This new year was the most lively one that Zhao Yun'er had experienced in decades. She was in a very good mood. After New Year's Eve, the 12th lunar month was busy paying New Year's greetings and visiting relatives. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, it was already spring. Liang Jinxiao was about to give birth. During this period, Zhao Yun treated Liang Jinxiao with caution. She was afraid that Liang Jinxiao would accidentally hurt herself. Because Liang Jinxiao was an advanced pregnant woman, it was more dangerous for her to give birth. She had to be careful. If there was an accident, it could cause serious consequences. According to Liang Jinxiao's expected date of birth, Zhao Yun contacted a midwife early. Because it was difficult for advanced pregnant women to give birth, Zhao Yun especially found the most experienced midwife in Yang City. This midwife was in her 60s or 70s. She was quite nimble. In the entire Yang City, hundreds of thousands of people were delivered by her. Even the children of many wealthy families in Sun City were delivered by her. With her decades of experience in midwifery, she was able to handle any accidents during birth. When Liang Jinxiao was about to give birth, Zhao Pinger's due date was also around the same time. After leaving Zhao Yun'er's house, Zhao Pinger and Qin Yuan bought a house in Yang City. Although Zhao Pinger and Qin Yuan did not live a luxurious life in the restaurant in Yang City, they were definitely living a good life. They were better off than many small businessmen in Yang City. The two of them were very satisfied. They did not ask for fortune. They only wanted to live a stable and comfortable life for the rest of their lives. After Zhao Pinger became good-looking, Qin Yuan's heart fell on Zhao Pinger. The couple was still quite loving. People could not help but sigh. They did not expect Zhao Pinger to live a happy life in the end. Chapter 2438. What? Qin Yuan rushed to Zhao Pinger when he heard that. Ping, you're about to give birth? Zhao Pinger nodded heavily. She gritted her teeth and a pained expression appeared on her face. My stomach hurts so much. Husband, I think I'm about to give birth. Qin Yuan was a man and he knew nothing about childbirth. He was very anxious at this moment. Oh, what should I do? Pinger? How am I going to give birth? What should I do now? Qin Yuan had an anxious look on his face as he immediately panicked. Zhao Pinger endured the pain in her stomach and grabbed Qin Yuan's hand. With some difficulty she said to Qin Yuan, Husband, go and call for her. Mother has given birth before, so she'll definitely know. Qin Yuan patted his head and responded, Yes. I should call for mother. She'll definitely know. He was just too anxious. The more anxious he was, the more confused he became. He didn't know what to do. Qin Yuan held Zhao Pinger's hand and said gently, bear with it for a while. I'll go and call for mother now. Qin Yuan ran into the courtyard and shouted a few times. When he heard that Zhao Pinger was about to give birth, Mu Chunfeng hurriedly said, Yuan, hurry and call for the midwife. Ask her to come and deliver the baby. Midwife? Mother, where should I call for the midwife? Let's go out and turn right. There's an alley a short distance ahead. The midwife lives in the second house. Go and call for her. She's the most experienced midwife in our Sun City. Mother has talked to her before. She'll deliver Pinger's baby. When Qin Yuan heard this, he hurriedly responded and eagerly rushed out of the house. Unfortunately, according to Mu Chunfang, the midwife was not at home when he arrived at his in-law's house. The high-yielding woman's eldest daughter-in-law said to the Xianhuan, "My mother-in-law was taken away by someone from Shuilan village to deliver a baby. She's not at home now. You're too late." Xianhuan was dumbfounded. "What? Is the high-yield woman not here?" "This husband, I'm really sorry. Why don't you look for other midwives? There are a few in Yang City." The high-producing midwife's eldest daughter-in-law replied apologetically. Usually it was rare for two babies to bump into each other. Today was really a coincidence. There was no other way. There was only one person. He couldn't possibly split it into two halves, right? First come, first served. Since they had already been taken away, there was nothing they could do. Xianhuan came back from the high-yielding woman's house, feeling a little discouraged. He hurriedly ran to Mu Chunfang and asked, "Mother, what should we do? The high-yielding woman is not here. She was called to deliver the baby." "What?" Mu Chunfang frowned. She didn't expect such an accident to happen. At this moment, Zhao Pinger was lying on the bed, clutching her stomach as she complained, it hurts so much, mother, husband, what should I do?" Because of the pain, Zhao Pinger's forehead was covered in a thin layer of sweat. Xianhuan's heart ached when he saw this. He held Zhao Pinger's hand and said, "Pinger, hang in there. Husband will think of something. You'll be fine." Mu Chunfang also comforted her. "Pinger, don't worry. It's normal for your stomach to hurt when you're giving birth. Mother will ask Yuan to find another midwife for you. Once the midwife is here, you'll be fine." Zhao Pinger was family Qin's flesh and blood. Naturally, Mu Chunfang valued her very much. Chapter 2439. After Xianhuan rushed out and ran halfway, he didn't expect to run into Zhao Xinhui. Zhao Xinhui had been recuperating for a while, and her injuries had slowly healed. Now she could get out of bed and walk around. Because it was really boring to stay at home, she went out to stroll around the streets to see if there was anything she liked or wanted to buy back. She didn't expect to see Xianhuan's familiar voice. Ever since that incident, the two of them had never contacted each other again. Xianhuan was disappointed in Zhao Xinhui, so he didn't want to miss Zhao Xinhui. He just wanted to live a good life with Zhao Pinger. However, Zhao Xinhui couldn't help but miss Xianhuan because it was too boring to be alone. Among all the men she had met, Xianhuan was definitely the one who treated her the best. He was also the one who was the most handsome. Unconsciously, she had developed feelings for Xianhuan. Therefore, she missed Xianhuan from time to time. Now she realized that she wasn't so happy after she became rich. Instead, she wanted to find a man who loved her and treated her well. Seeing Xianhuan's familiar back, Zhao Xinhui couldn't hold back the joy and excitement in her heart. She hurriedly ran in the direction of Xianhuan and blocked Xianhuan's path. "Xianhuan!" Zhao Xinhui shouted happily. She smiled at Xianhuan. She touched her hair subconsciously and paid attention to her appearance. She was dressed well today. She was pretty and charming. Xianhuan would definitely like her. Zhao Xinhui knew that Xianhuan used to like her very much. Even if they were estranged because of that incident, as long as she was willing to apologize, Xianhuan would definitely forgive her. Then she could be with Xianhuan again. When Xianhuan saw Zhao Xinhui, he was slightly stunned. After that, his face turned cold and his attitude became distant. "What's the matter?" Xianhuan asked faintly. Zhao Xinhui's heart sank. Although he was a little sad because of Xianhuan's cold attitude towards him, he still smiled and replied, "Xianhuan, can't I look for you if there's nothing important?" "I don't have time to accompany you," Xianhuan said as he prepared to leave. Zhao Xinhui was anxious. He immediately grabbed Xianhuan's hand and said to Xianhuan, "Xianhuan, don't go. Do you hate me that much? I haven't even said a few words to you and you're leaving? I know that what happened before was indeed my fault. I shouldn't have pushed all the blame onto you, but Xianhuan, you know that I'm just a woman. If I take all the responsibility, I'll be punished even more severely. Back then, I almost lost my life when I was punished like that. If this was more serious, I might really die. I wouldn't be standing in front of you now. Don't you love me very much? I believe that you're willing to take more punishment for me, right? Xianhuan. Actually, I like you too. Don't be angry with me. Let's get along like before, okay?" Xianhuan only found Zhao Xinhui's words laughable. Even at this time, Zhao Xinhui was still the same. In their relationship, Zhao Xinhui always expected him to be the one giving. In his relationship with Zhao Pinger always took the initiative to give. Between the two women, it was obvious who treated him better and who loved him more. Chapter 2440. Qin Yuan removed Zhao Xinhui's hand from his arm. He sneered at Zhao Xinhui and said, "You still want me to forgive you for what you did to me back then? Fine, I've forgiven you, but Zhao Xinhui, we can never go back to how we were before. I don't hate you and I don't blame you. I can only say that our fate has come to an end." Zhao Xinhui looked at Qin Yuan in disbelief. She widened her eyes and asked in a trembling voice, "Qin Yuan, didn't you love me very much in the past? Have you forgotten what you said in the past? Or did you go back on your words? Why are you going back on your words so soon?" Qin Yuan chuckled and mocked himself sarcastically. "Yes, I used to like you very much in the past. But now I know that it's better to find a woman who loves me." Zhao Xinhui shook her head and refused to admit it in her heart. "Qin Yuan, I love you very much too. Let's not be like this, okay? Let's be like before. I promise I'll treat you very well and love you very much." Zhao Xinhui suddenly couldn't bear to leave Qin Yuan. Perhaps she couldn't accept that the man who had treated her so well in the past had suddenly become cold to her, so she wanted to leave him. Qin Yuan waved his hand and refused coldly. "There's no need, Zhao Xinhui. I think Pinger is quite good. I just want to spend the rest of my life with Pinger. Please don't drag me and waste my time. I'm going to find a midwife for Pinger now. Pinger and I are going to have a baby soon." Qin Yuan immediately turned and left, not giving Zhao Xinhui a chance to ask him to stay. Looking at Qin Yuan's receding figure, Zhao Xinhui knew in her heart that it was impossible for her and Qin Yuan in this life. His attitude had already shown his determination. What else could she do? Qin Yuan's departure was like losing something very important to her. If she was given another chance to choose, perhaps she would choose to cherish it. She would not have pushed all the responsibility to Qin Yuan and caused an irreparable crack in their relationship. Perhaps from now on she would never be able to find a man who was so silly, who didn't care about anything, who treated her well and loved her wholeheartedly. Humans were like this. Most of the time they would only know regret after losing something, and they would never cherish it when they had it. At this moment, Zhao Xinhui was extremely envious of Zhao Pinger. Zhao Pinger now had Qin Yuan's wholehearted support. Unfortunately, she was the one who caused all of this. If she hadn't pushed Qin Yuan away, Qin Yuan wouldn't have gone to Zhao Pinger's side. There was no medicine for regret in this world. A missed opportunity was a missed opportunity. Zhao Xinhui stood on the street with a melancholy expression. When she thought about it, she couldn't help but feel very sad. She suddenly squatted on the ground and began to cry bitterly. Qin Yuan followed the address Mu Chunfang gave him and quickly found a midwife. Fortunately, this midwife was at home. She quickly followed Qin Yuan back and delivered Zhao Pinger's baby. It wasn't easy for a woman to give birth. Zhao Pinger was in pain in the house for half a day, but she still hadn't given birth. Qin Yuan couldn't help but feel very anxious. What if Zhao Pinger had a difficult birth? He didn't want to lose Zhao Pinger, nor did he want to lose his child. He just wanted his wife and child to be safe. You're tuning in to the Sword Dance in the Vast Sky YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.